I'll show you how I live. I'll show you what is written upon my heart and upon my mind. That is what a prophet of God who walks in the truth will freely do, is say, hey, you're welcome to come in and hear my words, see my journal. I'll let you see my prayers, my struggles, my pain. As a prophet of God, you are testifying according to your life, what you're experiencing, what you're going through, your battles, your struggles, your pain, your hurt. You become open and transparent because you walk in the light, in the truth of God's word. So there should be a song of praise and worship that comes out of the hearts and mouths of God's prophets. The life of a prophet of God is animated by a spirit of praise and worship to God. Is the one who claims to be a prophet of God animated by a spirit of praise and worship? Because a prophet of God praises the name of the Lord and exalts his name. When we're examining the fruit of a prophet, we have to look and say, a prophet's words bring God glory, like King David in the school of the prophets. Okay? The prophet of God brings God glory. A prophet's life will bring God glory. Therefore, in the east, give glory to the Lord. Exalt the name of the Lord, the God of Israel, in the islands of the sea. Isaiah 24:15. A prophet has a song of worship and praise that comes out of his mouth. Do we see the fruit of praise and worship coming out of the mouth of those who claim to be a prophet? If there is no song of praise in the life of a prophet, if there is no worship and praise being lifted up in the life of that prophet, then one has to begin to question whether they are in fact being led by the Spirit of God. The Spirit gives life. Okay? And where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. From a man's heart, he will speak words of praise and glory unto God, if praise and glory is in his heart. Church, you must examine the fruit of those who claim to be prophets. Not only is this a duty of true prophets of God to confront the false prophets, but you, as the church, must also stand watch out for the false prophets, but you must also examine the fruit of those who claim to be prophets of God. Where is your praise, prophet of God? Where is your worship? Whose name do you exalt? Who do you give your glory to? Because a prophet of God exalts the name of the Lord. The Lord's prophets exalt the name of the Lord. One who is led by the Spirit of God will be animated by a spirit that gives God all the glory. If there is no worship in a prophet, if there is no song of praise to God, then they are not a prophet of God. Because the Spirit inside of them is not animated by praise and glory unto the one who came to bring us life. This is the fruit that we must also examine. Love, yes, but also your praise, your worship. Whose name do you exalt? Whose name do you hold on to in the trials and tribulations of life? When your faith is being tested, do you turn away from the Lord, or do you cleave to the Lord with all your heart? In the midst of your struggle and in the midst of your pain, do you abandon the Lord, or are you steadfast and faithful by the Lord's side through all tribulations and all trials? Do you endure life's trials until the very end of your days, because he who endures to the end will be saved. If there is no song of praise and worship that fills the prophet's mouth, then they do not have the Spirit of the Lord. Can we just be honest? If there's no song of praise and worship that fills the prophet's mouth,